Well, class, here we are. We're at the end of the semester, and I'm sure many of you are feeling quite liberated for that. I'm also happy in the sense that, I mean, look, we're all very exhausted. I wanted to have this video out earlier to help talk about your grades in the final and my last thoughts on the end of the semester, but I was working, and I've had to work more than usual. So yes, I feel relief, but I also feel always a little bit of a sadness because I enjoy teaching, and I get to know many of you. At least we engage through the internet and our sometimes phone calls discussing the subjects further. And I think that you all know. Oops. Maybe that was one of you calling me right now. I think that you all know. Saw that I have a passion for the subject matter that I'm teaching. So I hope, my desire is that while the semester is ending, that this is not the end of your education, and that you now are aware that the world is very rich in terms of diversity, and yet it's mind-boggling to what is so different and simultaneously what is so not different, right? That's how I see it. But we live in a world right now where most Americans, should I say, those of us who are citizens living in the United States of America, have very little understanding of U.S. history. As my one professor said in grad school, the United States is a European project. And as a European project, we are a byproduct of Western civilization, the language that I speak to you in. Most of us, our view about politics and religion, this all stems from Western Europe, which was influenced, as we know, by other parts of the world. So yet here we are, not understanding our own history directly, not understanding it in its source. Many even for white America, where our ancestors directly came from, not understanding that, and then how much more so we're not understanding the rest of the world and world history. And so I think that you all have been able to really kind of like let that sink in and realize what an enormous task we have in trying to become to understand our world. But it's possible, right? And I've been broke most of my life. I've been a single father most of my life. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason I'm telling you this is I've not been able to travel in the way that I've wanted to. And I've been busy. And I've been a single dad, but there are media sources, the BBC, Al Jazeera English. It's very biased, but Democracy Now! Has a very strong point of view, but it's very educational, at the very least. Textbooks, more scholarly works. I've been able to study the world as much as I can, talking to people, communicating with friends, and so many people that come from other places. There are ways to engage with the world and gain better understanding, regardless of our economic class and our social status and whatever we're going through. It's about your desire, right, to learn and to understand. Bottom line, okay? You work with what you got, as they say. So, I hope you guys all continue with that, and especially in these times. Well, you've already heard all of my thoughts on this, and I should just let that go and just say that I do feel a lot of you have did that, and I'm happy about it. So let's talk about the grades a little bit. Okay, this is important. If you believe that you have an A or a B or a grade that you're content with, or you don't see taking the final as really affecting your grade in any way, that would be negative. I don't encourage not taking the final. I don't have a problem with it. You need to decide if that's the right proper strategy for yourself. What I do want you to do is, if you're not going to take the exam, I want you to go to the module of the exam, of the final, and then tell me you're not taking it. I'll put the 0 in as quick as possible. You can see your grade total, right? And if you're happy with what you see, you're good to go. Now, I need to mention this to you. It's very important. Some of you have noticed that in the grade book, there's all these various assignments that are there. I don't know why the Canvas, every time that I change a weekly assignment, it just keeps it in the grade book. So the modules I will alter every semester, but it's like I'm just, the grade book is kind of a mess, and I got to figure out if there's a way that the Canvas tech people can help me clean that up. But it doesn't affect your grade. You don't have to do those, and when I leave them blank, the grading doesn't get altered. They're just annoying. They're just a clutter in the grade book. So don't worry about those, okay? I'm going to try to get grading done as soon as possible. It may be until Sunday that I actually get to finish all the grading, and then I'm going to put the final grade into Pirates Net on Sunday evening. If your grade is on the cusp, and you're really kind of counting on this final to save you, pay attention to it carefully, and then call me and make sure that the grade says what you think it should, and that all the points are added up properly. If we've already had an arrangement that you can turn in late work, then you're fine. If not, you can't just turn in a bunch of late work right now. You need to call me and we can talk about that. But I have a lot of grading to do, and you can't just decide that you're going to step up this last week when you never even had this conversation with me before. Okay? Now, so if we've had a conversation about this, you know who you are. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Okay? And so that's it. Listen, I hope you have a great happy holidays, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, both, Kwanzaa, or some of you don't celebrate the holidays. Okay, well, listen, I hope all of you have a great season, and that you'll be well, and perhaps in the future, I'll run into you somewhere, or maybe not. I live in Portland, Oregon, but I'm always wishing you the best. Take care.